our Deputy Leader, Chester Cooper, Chairman Senator Brad Mitchell, my parliamentary colleagues, party officers, members, brothers and sisters here present. I first wish to thank Reverend Dr. Thompson and the members of this church for hosting us here today on this important anniversary. I wish to say at this time a very Merry Christmas to you all, and I thank you for all that you have done in the work of the Lord and in support of a progressive cause. Thursday, the 23rd of November, was the 64th anniversary of the Progressive Liberal Party. That day marked an important anniversary in the life of our party and our nation. This morning, we come to say thanks to Almighty God for bringing us this long, a mighty long way. It is fitting that we remember how we got started. We do not dwell on the past, but we seek to build upon it. This morning, we pay tribute to the founders of our party, the late Sir Henry Milton Taylor, the late Cyril St. John Stevenson, and the late William W. Cartwright, for their courage and their foresight. The late Sir Henry Taylor, the first chairman of the party and a former Governor General, writes that at the time of the party's formation in the Bahamas, there was very little public opinion, and the party was formed in part to help shape and mobilize public opinion.
Yes.
This is a task which we must remember even today. That is central to our mission. The idea of the PLP was formulated by these three men. It was a modest beginning, but soon blossomed into a movement. Sir Henry says that Cyril St. John Stevenson and William Cartwright, when returning from the coronation of Elizabeth II in London, stopped in Jamaica and took advice. They then returned to Nassau and met at Sir Henry's house, and that is how it began. The first day of business was the 23rd of May 1953. Amongst those who joined in time for the first convention was the late Sir Lyndon Finley, then a young lawyer. He later became the party's first leader. We remember, therefore, our first leader and the father of our nation, Sir Lyndon Oscar Finley. We remember our former leader, Perry Gladstone Christie. We remember all the countless men and women who struggled to bring us through. Built on the philosophical foundation of social justice, the PLP challenged the social order of the day, and through a grassroots movement, led the Bahamas to majority rule on the 10th of January 1967 and independence on the 10th of July 1973. Building on the economic foundation and the twin pillars of tourism and financial services, the Bahamian people, under the leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party government, built tourism into a multi-billion-dollar industry, having recorded tourism expenditures in excess of $1 billion in 1985. The Bahamas never looked back in its quest to position the Bahamas as a premier tourism destination, employing well over 100,000 persons and accounting for 60% of the local economy. The PLP established the Central Bank of the Bahamas, the University of the Bahamas, Bahamas Air, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the National Insurance Board, Urban Renewal, Bahamas Agricultural Marine Science Institute, and the National Health Insurance. Our policy of Bahamianization, which is largely responsible for the middle and professional classes, while it empowered the Bahamian working class beyond their wildest dreams. As we undergo internal constitutional reform, our work on behalf of the Bahamian people continues. The Enterprise Bill, currently before Parliament, threatens to undermine a hard-fought and largely successful policy of Bahamianization. I've indicated that the PLP will repeal this bill if it becomes law when we return to office. National health insurance is being gutted, even though over 200,000 Bahamians are without health insurance.
Wow.
Economic empowerment, crime, energy reform, environment protection, food security, and immigration reform remain the priorities in the next PLP government. There is no job security in the public sector, as job training has given way to this unconstitutional and baneful practice of victims' justice and mass terminations driven purely by the exercise of one's constitutional guaranteed right of association. The struggle continues. 50 years after majority rule, the policies which have guided us for 50 years are being reversed before our very eyes, led by the children of the very people who oppressed us 50 years ago. Let us remember our history and seek to build upon it. We are about creating the best little nation on this earth. We congratulate all PLPs who are still a part of the struggle. We made it these 64 years, but we have miles to go before we see. We commit ourselves today anew to that struggle of mobilizing and shaping public opinion, to which our founding fathers dedicated themselves when the PLP began. I thank you all who are supporters today and have been supporters over the years. I thank each and every one of you who are here today. We are as committed as ever in our righteous fight for the poor, the weak, and the dispossessed, the voiceless, and the sovereign rights of all the Bahamians. May Almighty God continue to bless the Progressive Party and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. On behalf of my wife, Anne-Marie, and on behalf of all of my colleagues, thank you to the Bahamian people at large for their support. I leave you with this prayer for the nation. God bless the Bahamas. Guide her leaders. Give your grace to us all. Protect our children. In the name of Christ. Amen.
Amen.